Tutorial. In this video, we are going to discuss Python installation and Hello World program. Before we can start programming Hello World program in Python, we need to get hold of a Python environment. Python is a highly portable language, available on all major operating systems: Windows, Mac, Linux and many more. Many PCs and Macs will have Python already installed. To check if you have Python installed on a Windows PC, search in the start bar for Python, or run the following on the command prompt. To check if you have Python installed on a Linux or Mac, then on Linux open the command line, or on Mac open the terminal and type Python 3. If you don't see any message something like this, that means you do not have Python installed on your computer, then you need to install Python on your computer. We will show you how to install Python, latest version 3, on Windows, Mac, or Linux. As we cover the three platforms, feel free to skip over the sections which are not relevant for you. Let's see how to install Python 3 on Windows 10 first. For Windows, you need to visit the official Python website at python.org, and then navigate via the Downloads tab to the Downloads for Windows, and click the button to begin downloading the latest Python 3 version. When given the option, choose to run the installer. After the installer starts, be sure to enable the option to add Python to the path environment variable, before moving on by clicking Install Now. You may be asked to approve the Python installer making changes to your device, which you should accept. After a few seconds, the installer will complete, and you can close the installer and your web browser. In case, if you miss to enable the option to add Python to the path environment variable, this is not a big problem, we can do it manually. We already discussed this in another tutorial video, there we showed you how to add Python to the path environment variable manually. For your reference, we added the video link in the description. We will be working with Python from the command line, so via the Start button, choose Command Prompt, and start Python just by typing Python, followed by Enter. Welcome to Python. The triple arrow prompt shows you that Python is waiting for your input. It shows that you installed Python successfully on your computer. At this point, you might want to skip forward while we show you how to install Python on Mac and Linux. If you are a Windows user, you can skip Mac and Linux installation and directly go to Hello World program. Now let's see how to install Python 3 on Mac OS. For Mac OS, you need to visit the official Python website at python.org. Navigate via the Downloads tab to the Downloads for Mac OS, and click the button to begin downloading the latest Python 3 version. A PKG file downloads, which, when opened, launches the Python installer. Continue through the install process, accepting the license agreement, and using the default installation location. You may be asked to approve the Python installer making changes to your device, which you should accept. When Python is installed, you can clean up by moving the installer to the trash. To use Python, open a terminal. Here we're using Spotlight to do so, and run Python 3 from the command line. Welcome to Python. The triple arrow prompt shows that Python is waiting for your input. The last operating system we'll look at is Linux, which is the easiest of all. Recent versions of Ubuntu Linux include Python 3 out of the box, so no installation is required. To begin using Python, open a terminal. On Ubuntu we can do this by using the search function, accessible through the Ubuntu icon on the top left, entering terminal, and launching the terminal application. In the terminal, you should be able to start Python 3. Welcome to Python. The triple arrow prompt shows you that Python is waiting for your input. If you're using a version of Linux other than Ubuntu, you'll need to find out how to invoke and, if necessary, install Python 3 on your system. Sorry folks, I am not aware of other version of Linux. Now we installed Python on our computer. Let's see how to code Hello World program. Python is an interpreted programming language. This means that, as a developer you write Python files, .py extension, in a text editor, and then put those files into the Python interpreter to be executed. The way to run a Python file is, like this on the command line, where helloworld.py is the name of your Python file. Let us write our first Python file, called helloworld.py, which can be done in any text editor. For this example, I am using Windows Notepad Editor. Open New Notepad, and add a line print Hello World. Simple as that. Save your file. I'm saving in desktop. Then open your command line, navigate to the directory where you saved your file, for me file in desktop. So I move to desktop. And run a command pythonhelloworld.py. The output, Hello World displayed here. In order to test a short amount of code in Python, sometimes it is quickest and easiest not to write the code in a file. This is made possible because Python can be run as a command line itself. Let us try to execute Python Hello World program in interactive mode, that is in command prompt. Open Python in command prompt and type print Hello World like this. And press enter button. Output Hello World displayed in below line itself. In this program, we have used the built-in print function to print the string Hello World on our screen. By the way, a string is a sequence of characters. In Python, strings are enclosed inside single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes. Congratulations, you have written and executed your first Python program. Whenever you are done in the Python command line, you can simply type the command exit to quit the Python command line interface. Or Ctrl-Z, enter. For Linux and Mac OS, Ctrl-D. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you liked it. In next video, we will be discussing the Python syntax and comments.